So there's not really any good videos on YouTube on how to remove the engine out of the Honda Navi. So if you're doing a cam or you just want to take out the engine, um, there is some little things you have to go and do. So first thing is on here there will be a cover, as you can see right there. And right here there'll be a vent that connects to there just to feed in air to the CVT. You want to at least remove this. The cover can stay on. I removed it just because of I'm most likely gonna paint my engine and CVT, so I need this taken apart. And then next up is you want to remove your carb and take it out. So on the OEM carb, it doesn't have this boot connector here or hose connector. So what you would have to do is, easiest way to remove this is take, I believe, 10 millimeter and remove the intake off of the engine and just pull it out. And then there would also be an air box here that I don't know if you'd have to remove or not. You'd for sure have to unbolt from the engine, but you might have to pull it out too. Then next, you want to remove your storage box compartment here. This isn't in the way for the engine pulling, but you have to access this, which is a little cover you can see right there that has 3 Phillips. And then you can see the top of your engine right there. And then next up, you want to remove all these connectors. I think there's 2. So there's one right here and here, I believe. And then there's also a bolt up here for a ground up here. You want to take that out because all this comes out with the engine. And there's some connectors up here. So I think 2 connectors and this tiny plug right there. Those have to come out because those go with the engine. And then after that, you pull the engine. Oh, and one more thing. You have to remove the swing arm bolt. So it's this massive bolt right here. It goes all the way through. You can kind of see where we go right in there. So it goes all the way over there, off into the other side. Yeah, so it goes all the way over to the other side right here. You want to remove this because this is what your engine basically pivots on. You also want to remove your shock, as that is what's supporting your engine off the ground right now. So once you remove that, it will fall down. I don't think there's anything else you need to remove. All those cables I was talking about, those are all here. They all come down here to your starter and whatever this is called. They're basically, I forget the name, but basically your alternator for these types of engines. And then after that, you pull the engine out. It should be out. One thing I suggest is, because this stand right here is connected to the engine. It's not the frame. What you want to do is you want to come take jack stands, put them under these pegs on both sides. So then you support your whole frame, because what's supporting it right now is the engine. And obviously that's going to be taken out. So, yeah. Alright, now once you removed all that, like the carb, everything, the huge bolt down there, you can pull the engine out. All it does is you lift it up a bit and slide it out. Make sure you don't pull the connections too hard and it should be good. One other thing I forgot to mention is the brake lines. You have to undo them from here. It's nothing too hard. You just back off the nuts to pull out the brake cables, just feed them through the way they're routed, and yeah, you'll be able to remove it. And as you can see, the whole engine's pulled off. Nothing too major. It's not too complex either. It's super simple. One other thing that I forgot to mention also, which I messed up on, is if you come down here, your spark plug boot, it has a cable. Forgot to take that off. If that happens, which luckily I guess I can show, you put it back on and you twist it on, because if you can't really see right now, but inside there's basically a screw. You shove it back on the same wire or cable, so this one, and you just thread it on and just make it tight, and it should be good. And worst case scenario, if it breaks, the spark wire really isn't too much, and if it does, maybe upgrade to CDI whatever. Yeah, so that's not a big deal, but yeah, super easy way to pull the engine, not too hard. Yeah. Alright, so I thought at the end of the video I could include some pictures of what I mentioned of painting the engine and the process of that. I'm also including pictures of me modifying my CVT cover and also painting that and my clutch bell. So first, the biggest thing that probably took the most time was cleaning the engine. The process of that was I was using a Dremel and some degreaser, and the Dremel I had some kind of aluminum cleaning bit on, and I used that to get inside the crevices. So once I cleaned it all, the way I painted it is I basically hung up a bunch of tarps and had the engine lifted up into the air in my basement onto a wooden beam with a bungee cord. I also taped off and used garbage bags to mask off all the things I didn't want to paint. After that, once I masked off everything and had it hung up on the bungee cord and everything, I did, I believe, 2 to 3 layers of primer. It's some enamel engine primer. Then after that, I used some black enamel engine paint as well. I also did the inside of the CVT because you'll see in a couple photos that I have an exposed CVT cover now, mainly for looks and for cooling the clutch. So I wanted it to look nice inside there. After that, I of course let it dry and everything. Once it was assembled, you can't see the unpainted jug area for cooling because it's all covered with black plastic, and the paint I used perfectly matched the plastic colors. And then moving on to the CVT cover, I used a Dremel originally to cut out the area I wanted. One tip I can give for doing that, you want to go from the backside because you can match the curve of where the clutch sits. That as well, I did the same process as painting the engine. I primered it a few layers and then I used the engine paint on it. I also went on to paint the clutch bell. I used the same black engine paint on that, and then I also used some regular red spray paint I had laying around. Did a splatter paint with the red on it, and it turned out quite well. It matches the colors and also gives it a unique look. But they seem to turn out quite well, and I believe I am the first to paint an engine outside of a steady garage. And the cutout for the CVT, I believe I'm the first to modify your original one, who's not a company as well.